Hello, welcome. Hello, welcome to my speech number 10. Today is like the topic for speech number 10. It is the harmful racial stereotypes. But why talk about this? Because like racial stereotype is one of the main cause of racial discrimination here, and many problem just caused by racial discrimination. And at first, I want to talk about what is racial stereotype. Racial stereotype it is like the over generalization of a racial group based on very limited cases to describe the entire racial group. So if you see a man, it is white, it is like and it's like a smoky drunk driving, and you may just need to think like the white male just a drunk driver, right? But I don't think this is like more. I don't think this is reasonable because every individual they have their own trait, they have their personality, they have their way to behave the thing. So it is not sure if you just over overgeneralize or label that a one thing or two word to the entire racial group. And how those labels they can cause those labels are powerful. They can cause devastating damages to like racial group. So for now, the most so like the most irritating, heartbreaking racial stereotype is like black people. They're lazy. They're not work hard. So there are lots of institutions, lots of academic institutions and jobs do not hire black people because they're lazy. But that is not true at all. Because like every sugar have elite, every every sugar have ordinary people. We have to admit that. And some white people just inferiorly to think they are naturally intrinsically have a have a higher higher social status than other racial group, and that is cause why it's like they think like black people they're lazy, they're not hardworking, they're just any bad word, but no, they're not, because you do not to accept them. So there's like they're good black people they're not with you guys, and you will not see that the minorities can be talented as white people. Everybody can be talented, not only you and white people. The racial stereotype harm the racial makeup of like a police department. At UWPD, take my school's police department as an example. Because like UWPD now is found is anti-black. Why is anti-black? Because what like cops who are African American, they don't feel they're safely or properly treated. Because they're white cops in the police department that make like eat this watermelon, eat this, eat that, or something that just can associate with like the back history that they do not want to hear it again. I just wanted to say it's like racial stereotypes sometimes can lead to like a department like PD, the PD, or any police department to hire less black cops. And the effect of less black cops will be there will be more white cops to do something like using a taser or like or like their armed weapon inappropriately. That would just cause like that's would caused by violence. if you want to be like the police department be more authentic, to everybody trust the police, you have to make this police department be more diverse. Because like hire more cops who are African American because they want to engage in the society. They want to protect people. They're here to not harm you. They're here to protect you. Another thing on education. Asian people are not for their smart. Anybody's they're expert on like on especially they're expert on like STEM. But so there will be like incidents like okay if you're there's like incident oh it's like this. If you look like Asian people and you're in a math class, people ask you all the questions because they will instantly know Asian people knows everything. I would just say this: everybody have their expert. Maybe African American people they expert in athletic, in like sports, everything. But like they are expert in like academics, and what people they're expert in art, in history, reading, everything else. So there's no need to label every people just like the thing. Just say okay, this dude is this, that dude is that. I do not like this because every individual it is every individual it is every individual it is unique. Do not take a one or two case take into account for the whole racial group. I don't want that because I want a community, a racial group to be fairly, fully represented. We do not want any racial group to be underrepresented or undertreated. For here, I just want to say, African American people, they're not lazy. They're talented, their muscle very strong. They have very good athletic potential. They're very capable of doing great things on like sports and basketball, hockey, and football, everything. Asian people may be good like the academic, maybe they're doing research, doing like the STEM, to be a scientist, and it might be good, and everybody can be expert on everything. So you're not just limited to like, okay, this dude is African American, so like just he maybe have a bad GPA, so this is not the case. There are lots of smart people who are African American. There are lots of athletic people who are Asian or who are not white. Do not use do not use racial stereotypes to make inferences, because your inferences may hurt them unintentionally, but they can feel that the entire everywhere it is oppressing them because they think they're not a fit. Now, I want to say again, racial stereotype can cause very devastating effect. Regarding the shooting in Atlanta of Asian people, they have a stereotype about Asian they're not protective. They do not engage in politics. This is their culture. Because some Asian people they do not like engage in politics. They do not think like the politics is over. They do not think those are not my business, or I don't need to take care of it. This is just their habit, and you don't need to enforce them unless they think they need to. And some people think like Asian people they're really easy to get bullied, really easy to get harassed, and I just feel it. Yeah, I just feel it is hard breaking because I'm Asian myself. I don't think like some Asian they're weak. They're weak. They're unbearable. They just have their way to get in politics. They have their way to fight for the justice. They have their trait. They have their characteristics. Don't use your standard to evaluate other people who are not same as you. Because sometimes your word costs a lot. Your word sometimes costs a lot. And you can and now I just want to say anybody can behave what they anybody can behave what they wanted to do. So do not limit it to like what you do not limit it to what you already know about like a kind of a typical like a friend but like racial group. Because it's not really accurate. Everybody is not the same. So please respect every individual because they have their right to do what they want to do. I hope everybody should be alarmed. No more racial stereotypes. Just do what you like to do. Here's the life. Your respect, your love makes life easier. Everybody will have a better life if there's no racial stereotypes. We pursue for our freedom. We pursue for good life. So here's the end of my speech. Thank everybody for coming. No racial stereotype. And that's it. Make the country great again.